Good morning. Sing with us if you will.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Om Shanti, peace inside my mind, God and only God is using me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Om Shanti, peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I long to see. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Om Shanti, peace inside the earth, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside the earth, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, 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 Om. Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om.
Peace inside the earth, indeed. Good morning, and happy soggy New Year. Yes, maybe we'll be drought-free in 2023. Let's thank our magnificent musicians, the dynamic duo, Kev Choice and Luc Monfranc, setting a wonderful tone. I am Robert Leeds, your host for today. To begin, speaking of peace within the earth, we respectfully acknowledge that here in the Bay Area, we gather on the traditional land of the indigenous Ohlone people. We honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded these lands for countless generations. Going forward, we will be starting the announcements with that land acknowledgement. Welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us, uplift us, and celebrate our oneness with all of life. But you knew that. A special welcome to those of you who are joining us for the very first time. We're so glad you're here in the sanctuary with us. If you wouldn't mind raising your hand, the ushers have a welcome packet for you. Anyone here for the first time? Also, a big welcome to those of you joining us on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter so you can learn all about the enriching things we have to offer here at the Oakland Center. As a reminder, if you're experiencing any cold, flu, or COVID symptoms, please tune in on YouTube or Facebook Live instead of coming to services in person. We thank you for signing in before service and wearing a good-fitting mask covering your nose and mouth while indoors. We appreciate every effort to keep us all safe and healthy. Taking reasonable precautions is not at all in conflict with Science of Mind principles. Remember the wisdom of the saying, trust in Allah, but tie your camel to the post. Now, take a moment to bless our children everywhere that they are. We got the slide? Okay. We bless all our children in our community and the world. We love you. We see you. We know the truth of who you are. You are unique expressions of God, and we are grateful to have you in our lives, and so it is. All right, here are some of the groovy things happening at our center. Next Wednesday, January 11th, practitioner Elena Hutchinson will inspire us with her consideration of the theme, The Universal Mind. Meditation is at 6:30 p.m. and service at 7 p.m., and that's on Zoom. The Collection Barrel is back. This month we are collecting for Jewish Family and Community Services. You'll hear about their work later in the service. For a complete list of items they need, you can go to our website. I think they're up on the slide right there. If you go to the website, click on the About Us drop down and then select nonprofit partners. The information's all there, and you can also find it in the Village News email or look on the barrel outside the social hall. All Ernest Holmes books are on sale for 30% off this month in the Spirit Treasure bookstore. Woohoo! Ernie. It says, take Ernest home with you. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Vision Board Party, which got delayed, I believe, is now happening on January 28th. Deborah Jackson is a master at this, so come join that party. A quick reminder, if you are in the center, to silence your cell phones now that we're in person more. If you're at home, do what you want. For details of all upcoming events, workshops, and classes, please go to the Thursday Village News, oaklandcsl.org, and the rotating slideshow before service. And check out our beautifully redesigned website if you haven't seen it. Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special updates and content you'll only find by liking and subscribing to OCSL. If you'd like to rise and join me in reading our vision and mission statement. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. And so it is. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe and dry.
Good morning. Wow. So good to be here in the new year, being the pulpit assistant. My name is Regina Buckwalter, and I am a practitioner here at OCSL, and I will be doing the readings and the prayer this morning. So you may just get cozy in your seat, relax. You can close your eyes if you feel inclined to do that. You can keep them open, looking at the screen, whatever works for you as I read the readings. The first reading is by Ernest Holmes. The great love of the universe must be one with the great law of its own being, and we approach love through the law. This, then, is the teaching, love and law. As the law of God is perfect, so the law of God also is perfect. We must understand both. The second reading is by Mark Nepo. Live loud enough in your heart, and there is no need to speak. So as we sit in our comfy little chairs and just feel the presence of love. As love is not a concept, love is a feeling, love is a vibration. Love is what heals, and love is the infinite presence of the divine that moves through us easily and effortlessly as we breathe. The breath moves through us as we attend to it, as we attune to it, as we feel it. We know we are one with love, with God, when we feel and when we know the breath, as the breath is spirit. It courses through us just as love courses through us. We tune in and we feel and we know that the infinite presence is our power. We are one. We are the power. God is one within us. When we feel we know, we invite it in, and we know God is our life. And I know that I am one with His presence. I feel it. I know it. I know that unconditional love is my power, that I move through the world feeling it first before I speak my word. I feel first the love within. And I know this is my truth. I know this is the truth for every single person that has gathered. It is our principle. We live within the principle of infinite love. God is love. God is presence. God is the infinite power of my life, no matter what the external circumstances are going on. At any given time, God is love. I will make it through it. We stand firmly on this truth. It comforts us. God is the comfort of our life. We stand firmly feeling love. And I bless this service. I bless Reverend Lisa Hamilton as she steps up here and speaks the word to inspire us, to deepen us, to help us deepen into these principles. She enlivens us. She touches us with her word. She is grounded in the presence of love moving through her. I bless everybody that has gathered here to support this service, acknowledging Reverend Sunshine Michelle for the space that she is holding as our new minister, gathering our community during the sacred time of new beginnings. I bless the musicians and everyone that has gathered here to support our community. It does take a village, and we are gathered here in the presence of love, the presence of infinite power, the love that heals. And I release my word into the law, and I say yes. Yes to love, yes to God, yes to spirit that moves through us, yes to the oneness that we all feel, yes to the oneness that gathers us and unites us during this special time of new beginnings. I give great gratitude knowing these truths, knowing that we are one in love, in harmony, in the calm that supports us as we drop in and breathe and know it. I release my word, I let go, I let God, and so it is.
This day I awoke with a passion in my heart, feeling of longing, a thirst so strong. I want to be better, an opening for God to make me stronger. My prayer today is a courage to be what the Holy Spirit intends for me. I want to be better and for God to make me stronger. Make me patient when I worry. Make me calm where my heart is strife. Make me loving when my heart is hard. Make me forgiving when I would be right. Make me forgiving. My prayer today is the courage to be what the Holy Spirit intends for me. I want to be better and opening for God to make me stronger. Stronger to reveal more peace. I must be patient to reveal more love. I must be humble to reveal more power. Make me stronger to reveal more peace, more love, more joy, more joy. I want to be better and opening for God to make me stronger. This is my prayer today. Oh, God.
Kev Choice, Lukman Frank. Happy Sunday to you. I'm here to add my welcome for being here. I appreciate you. I want you to know that. And I appreciate being here on this team. Before I introduce our guest speaker, which is my great honor, I understand today is a special day. And I want you to join, well, every day is a special day. Let me pause there, right? That's what I believe. And I invite you to take a moment of sacred silence with me as we honor Reverend Jeff Anderson's birthday from the other side. Let's bless him with our silence. Thank you. And now it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this morning, Reverend Lisa Hamilton, who I will read her bio, but I have to start off. She's a dear sister friend. We went to ministerial school together, and we started our Focus Ministries together, and she supported my ordination on program. And she's a recipient, one of 9 recipients for the Reverend Sunshine Award. And it just goes on and on and on. We're vision partners too. And let me read from her bio. Reverend Lisa Hamilton is an ordained religious science minister. She's a registered yoga teacher, soon to be a yoga therapist. She's really close in her therapy training, yay. She's a certified meditation teacher inspirational speaker, coach, retreat facilitator, radiant health and lifestyle expert, herbalist, organic gardener, adventurer, and lover of nature. She is the founder and spiritual director of Yoga Som, that's Yoga Science of Mind, Yoga Som, a Centers for Spiritual Living focused ministry that combines the practices and philosophies of yoga and the science of mind. Let us give a warm Oakland Center for Spiritual Living welcome to Reverend Lisa Hamilton.
I can breathe. Good morning. Wow, so Lukman and Kev, I heard you practicing that song this morning, Make Me Stronger, when I was in the back with Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle, and I was like, that is the perfect song for today. Not only that, but Om Shanti, because you know Om is the primal sound. It's the sound of God. So you guys perfectly picked the music today, and it was really inspiring for me. And the reason that it's inspiring, the words, my prayer today is for courage to be what the Holy Spirit intends for me. Make me stronger, right? Because really, life isn't always easy, is it? We're here to learn. So life is intended to be a little challenging for us sometimes. Even though we might wonder how we're going to get through something, when we can connect through our prayer, through the universal voice, which is what the talk is about today, it makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it? Because then we're guided. And when we can trust and we're guided by the universe, then even though there's challenges, even though there's pain, that pain, those challenges do make us stronger, give us grit, yeah? So how about the power of the thunder last night? Did you all hear it here too? Because it was thunderous up north, and I did not sleep at all last night. Not at all. So I apologize in advance, and you all may have to help me do my talk today if I kind of lose it. So our theme for this month is Root and Reboot. And this is generally the time of year that we do root and reboot, because we go back to basics. We go back to the basics of what we're taught in the science of mind. And it's even good for us practitioners who have been here for a long time, practicing over and over again, to go back to basics, because we forget sometimes how effective it is to just really hone in on the basics that we're taught, like spiritual mind treatment, or affirmative prayer, as I like to call it. When I first heard that term, spiritual mind treatment, I almost ran out the door. I thought they were going to try to brainwash me in here. But then I understood later that it is a treatment in order to change our consciousness and align it more with the universal voice, or the mind of God, right? So affirmative prayer is one of the foundational practices that we practice here. And the realization step is the first step in our affirmative prayer. And the purpose of the prayer, of the realization step, is to align ourselves and attune ourselves with the allness and the greatness and the vastness and the infinite possibility and the love and the joy of God, right? So we are speaking the word about what that is, about what God is, right? So we're saying God is infinite spirit. God is universal voice. So what can you think of? I know that Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle likes to include you guys in her talk sometimes. So if I say God is, and you were thinking about the quality of what God is or the vastness of what God is, what would you say? God is love, life, peace. What was that? Wilderness. Beauty. All right, so that is the first step of treatment. So we're saying what God is. We're speaking our word about what God is, but that's the outer expression of what we're doing. And on the inner expression, we're attuning ourselves to that so that we can feel it in every cell of our being, in our breath, in our heartbeat, in our thoughts, in every fiber and cell, right? We're just filling ourselves up with that feeling of infinite peace, joy, right? And so the second step of treatment, and I'm only going to go over just the first two just for this, is all of those things are what I am too, right? Because I'm a part of God. So that means that infinite peace is who I am. Joy is who I am. So say with me, all of these things, God is, I am. All of these things God is, I am. That's the second step of treatment. We've done some basics. How about that? Give yourself a hand. Yeah, so if you haven't taken a class yet, you're already halfway there, because we learned, well, there's 5 steps in our affirmative prayer, and we learned, at least when I took foundations, or maybe it was prac training, I can't remember when they said this, that if you know the first 2 steps of treatment, you could just go with that and you're good. I mean, that'll get you where you need to go. But I do have to say, the other steps are pretty awesome too. I mean, who doesn't need a little gratitude, right? Or to let go, a little release, or to really claim you're good. So that's the 5 steps of treatment right there. I found this amazing quote in the Science of Mind textbook. So we know that Dr. Ernest Holmes, or as Edward Voyun used to say when we were at the center when he was doing a talk, Ernie baby. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for that one. Anyway, no matter what our emotional storm or what our objective situation may be, there is always something hidden in the inner being that has never been violated. I love that. It hasn't even been touched. We may stumble, but always there is the eternal voice forever whispering within our ear that thing which causes the eternal quest, that thing which forever sings and sings. So that's in the textbook on chapter 33, section 3. We are on an eternal quest, all of us, to expand in consciousness, to know God. All of us without exception. Even people who seem to have chosen the wrong path according to our own judgment. Even people who are not like us. Even people who go to a different center or church or temple. Even people who are differently abled. Even people who have a different way that they express in the world, even people of different races, different everything, right? We're a diversity of people, so we are all going to show up differently, and all of us, without exception, no matter what label you can put on me, no matter what label anyone can put on you, we are all, without exception, on this quest of expansion and consciousness, and we all have connection to God directly. or the divine or spirit or whatever you want to call it. So everyone is guided by divine intelligence, no matter what. All paths lead to God. And if we can remember this and remember to let go of our biases, then that will serve us well. As many folks experienced during COVID or during some part of COVID, I experienced a loss of a job. I was working in a corporate world for 19 and a half years, and then I wasn't. Yeah. So, the first thing that I thought when I was let go was thank God. Isn't that amazing? You're nodding over there, so you know how it feels. It's like something in me knew it was time. I just thought, thank God. And I stayed home because we were all locked in our homes for at least a year, right? So we were grounded. So I was grounded in my home. So what did I do? For like 6 to 8 hours a day, I practiced yoga. And that includes the philosophies and the practices and the meditation and all of that, and science of mind. And I practiced my music. And I visioned with my visioning partner, the Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle, and we visioned some great and amazing things. So you can imagine my surprise when out of nowhere, after all that visioning, and these grand things that were coming up, I heard the voice of God, the universal voice, the still small voice inside me. And it said, go to bartending school. I'm not kidding you. It said that. And I said, no. Really? No. I don't even like drunk people. I have been inappropriately, had an inappropriate experience with a supervisor when he was drunk. That was not my doing. I don't want to be around that. I don't go to bars. I hang out with yogis and ministers, and what am I going to do in a bar? I mean, maybe I have a glass of wine once in a while. I don't really drink that much. So I told my visioning partner and my prayer and heroics partner, it's Reverend D. Jacqueline. You guys know Reverend D. Jacqueline. And Reverend Dr. Sunshine. And do you know what kind of a response I got from them? Can you guess? Yeah! Why did you guess that right? I would not. They were so supportive. They were celebrating it. I was like, where did this come from? Like, why is this being celebrated? Okay, I'm just going to do it. So I did. And right away, I came out of bartending school, got a job at a restaurant that was also a music venue. So that was exciting. Music, good food. And have any of you worked in the service industry before? Oh, you know that some of those things that Anthony Bourdain said are true then. Because it's not like corporate there. Yeah, so I started working there, and I started meeting these characters, these beautiful, diverse, and different people that I would never hang out with. And they were just surprising in so many ways. I used to come home and tell my sister stories. She wanted to hear all about it because she was all into like Anthony Bourdain and all of that kind of stuff, right? She used to watch all the shows on TV. I guess there's a bunch of shows on TV. So anyway, I would come home and I didn't know their names, the people I worked with yet, because I'm new and I'm terrible with names. And so I said, well, today I met, some bartender. I had a bartender person that I met, and I started working with them, and some, servers. But today, the most interesting person I met was the chef. And I walked up to the window for the first time, the window in the kitchen, and all of a sudden, he saw me coming, and he lit this pan on fire, and the whole thing, the flame went all the way up to the hood over the stove. It was like this huge flame. It went poof like that, and then he looked at me with this sassy look on his face, like, look what I did. And I was like, I've never seen it. And I was like blown away. I'm like, that is so cool. That's very awesome. So, and he's a Latino man. And so when I went home, the name we made for him was Bordeño. Bordeño is his name. And I can say that because I'm Hispanic, so we're good here. No letters to Reverend Dr. Sunshine about how I'm saying things about Hispanic people, because we can do that. And he knows his nickname, and he's happy with it. And he might be watching right now, who knows. So there was Bordeño, there was Mighty Mouse. She was this little server that she was fast and powerful and amazing, and she could remember all kinds of orders, like crazy orders. And then there was Avocado. And Avocado is, she ended up being my assistant manager. I ended up being general manager of the restaurant. And so Avocado and Bordeño and I, we all three were a team managing the restaurant. But anyway, Avocado, her name is Avocado because her and I got into it right away. We did not like each other. And she interrupted me when I was talking to somebody at the bar to ask me a question, and I snapped at her, and she got mad, and I got mad, and the next day, she had let it go like it was nothing. And I was like, I think I can work with her. This is really cool. We can just kind of be who we are and not worry about it. And so Avocado is Avocado because, avocados, they get ripe and they're really, really good. And then they get bad really fast, like in seconds, right? The next couple of seconds. So she loves her name. She helped me pick that one out. So we're good. I'm not in trouble yet. But I might get in trouble when I tell you this next part of the story. So I'm at the bar, and then I meet the bar manager. We don't like each other. She is not somebody I would hang out with. She's ordering me around like crazy. She is not impressed by my bartending school. She was raised in a bar. Her parents had a bar, right? So, and she has a life of, she's grit. She's gritty. She's creative. She's amazing, right? But at this point, we didn't get along. So I was too corporate. I was too serious. I wasn't restaurant material yet. So we're in the bar, and it's the end of the night, and everyone's coming up to have their shift drinks. You've got the cooks coming up, the chef, and the servers, and all these people coming up. And they're sitting at the bar, and we're making their drinks, and I turn around, and I'm at the register doing something. And I'm just going to give you her real name because she doesn't care. Shailene comes into the bar. You can go in one way and out the other. She comes into the bar and slaps me really hard. Yeah, right here. She slapped me. I was like, so everybody froze. Time stopped. It just stopped. And when it stopped, I was able to think for a minute. Like everything was frozen and I had time to think. Are you ever there, in the moment? So this moment right here, when you're in that, that's where you access the universal voice. And sometimes you don't really hear anything. you just move with something, right? So I'm like, did she really just do that in front of all of my coworkers? And I had this happen to me in corporate. And do I really want to deal? And then I look over at her, and she's down here, and she goes like that. And then she's like this. So I take off running after her. And I slapped her back. And then we threw wet rags at each other. And we became a unit after that. I called her wifey. She was my bar wife. So you can be in a situation where you are around a bunch of people that you don't like. They don't even vote the same as you. They do not. They don't talk the same as you. They listen to country music or they listen to jazz, and you don't like one or you don't like the other. They're nothing like who you would hang out with. And they have your back now. They have your back. And now you're working as a team. It's a beautiful thing what Spirit can do when you throw a bunch of misfits together. It's a beautiful thing. So, y'all still with me? All right. So now I have to skip, because that was way back there. All right. So, no matter what our emotional storm or what our objective situation may be, there is always something hidden in the inner being that has never been violated. We may stumble, but always there is that eternal voice forever whispering within our ear, that thing which causes the eternal quest, that thing which forever sings and sings. I had a healing that day. I am not recommending this to anyone. I'll tell you, if somebody does that to me again, I'm calling the police. But I had a healing that day, and it totally dissolved the previous event that happened in corporate for me. Because now here's this person who I'm safe with, and who's safe with me, and we get to play now. It was on. I got the whipped cream out one day and got her good with that. I mean, it was on. We would sneak up on each other. It was on. But that place would get so crazy. There would be people out the door, and it was like a war zone. So you get to the end of that, people have been at war together. They end up being buddies, right? Because they've been through something that nobody else has been through with that person. So all paths lead to God, and sometimes God takes us on crazy and interesting paths. It's like the Wild Toad ride at Disneyland. But we cannot be separated from the Almighty God. We cannot be separated. We are always right where we need to be. We are always safe. Right where we need to be. There's something in us that never gets violated, no matter what happens. Like drops of water in the ocean, the only substance found in a drop is the ocean. You might not be all of the ocean, but when you're a drop, you have all of what's in the ocean in you. If you're in a wave, you're in a community like this, right? We're all drops in here, now we're in a wave. This is the wave of the ocean. Right? So we're in this wave, and then we can dip into the deep, vast ocean. So to hear the universal voice through all those drops and waves and animals of the ocean and things going on in the static, we really need to tune in, right? Because nobody else can hear it for us. I take my heart and my troubles to my prayer partners, to my visioning partners, to my close friends who are ministers, and they pray for me, and they know the highest truth for me. And they tell me ways that they've been able to hear the voice, but they can't tell me what the voice says for me. You have to have a direct connection. And we do that through prayer. We do that through meditation. We do that through sacred service. In service, we touch the divine. We hear the divine voice. How am I doing on time? I lost track. Wrap it up. All right. So our connection with God is very individualized. Some spiritual practices work great for me. They're not going to work great for somebody else. So we try them like a science. We see what works best for us. Take some classes. Delve in. See what's there for you. Sometimes I think to myself, life gets kind of challenging. Maybe in the next life, I'll be a tree. And I can just feel the breeze blowing through me. And I can just stand there tall, nobody to look down on me. But then I remember there's fires. Right? There's fires and they get chopped sometimes. Right? So there's even challenges for the tree. How about a rock? Sit by the riverbed, watch the water flow by, be peaceful, see the moon and the stars at night. But the rock can get chiseled. We get chiseled, we get tumbled, we get some shine from that tumbling. It might feel painful, but pain makes us stronger. My prayer today is for the courage to be what the Holy Spirit intends for me. God does not want us to shrink away from anything. If you find yourself shrinking or feeling diminished, I assure you there is a lesson coming. And it's going to be a fun and interesting ride. There might be some pain, but you're going to look at it and say, wow, that was so crazy. It was cool. It was so fun. So, lean into it and enjoy the ride and listen to that still small voice that's always inside waiting for you to listen. Listen, listen.
I was invited up here with a nod. That's why I'm up here. Let's give Reverend Lisa Hamilton a hand. And now is our time for our community prayer. And as Carmen West Jefferson, our practitioner on duty, brings the prayer box up, I invite practitioners and ministers in the house to stand if you so choose to join us. And I invite you to go within, whatever that looks like for you, into that prayerful space. And I invite Reverend Lisa to start off our prayer.
So breathing into this sacred space, the sacred Om that we heard earlier, Om Shanti. Breathing into that primal sound, the voice, the universal voice, the infinite spirit, infinite possibility, the one that is always present within and without and all around us, the one that is loving us in each and every moment, that created this universe that is in constant creation and recreation as everything is made new over and over again. As we expand in consciousness with this beautiful spirit, we are one with it. We are one with the joy, the love, the peace, the light that God is. There is nothing else in us but the pure spirit and the divine essence of God. And I give great thanks for knowing this, and I pass my word.
Word received. And so in the power and the presence of this moment, in this consciousness that has been lifted, we come together in this heartfelt moment of our own personal prayer collecting itself into this vortex of community prayer where we lift up the divine truth. We bless our nonprofit partner this month, the Jewish Family and Community Services, knowing that they provide support and services for those in the community, in diverse communities in need in the East Bay, assisting refugees from the Ukraine and Afghanistan who have settled here in the East Bay and extending their services in such a meaningful way. We bless our beautiful planet Earth, Mother Gaia, and we bless you with restoration and light and harmony and joy that you allow for us, that you provide for us. Thank you, Mother Gaia, for all that you are for us, allowing us to be here as stewards here on this beautiful planet. We bless our youth everywhere, loving our babies, helping them to grow in healthy, wonderful ways, and blessing those children who are not experiencing that situation wherever they are, blessing them with the knowingness that God is right where they are, providing for their needs in whatever ways that the universe provides, and giving thanks for that. And blessing these beloveds who have prayers and that we are lifting for them, whatever their circumstances might be, that the ministry of prayer is praying for. We lift up the names of Mia Hawkins, Bonnie Gonzalez, Max, Sandra Brown, Genesis Chambers, Louise Thompson, Firefly, Christine Anderson, Reverend Aikia Param, and any others who are receiving prayer through our ministry of prayer. And we bless our world. We bless our world for world peace and harmony and joy, as Reverend Lisa was talking about today. And we lift that vision up. We lift the knowingness from our hearts of this peaceful world up, knowing that whatever is unlike it gets resolved through the pathway of love and harmony and joy. Any place where there may appear to be war, we know that God is peace. And I invite you to bring your prayer list to your heart and invite the door to be open for you to speak it out loud. Whomever you are praying for, including yourself, say your own name too. And anyone else for whom you are praying and lifting up, knowing that the truth about them is exalted and is demonstrating itself right there, that miracles do happen right now, right there, right where it is needed, and that all is truly well regardless of appearances. We hold these beloveds in our hearts and know that truth is revealed and healing does happen. And so in gratitude and in thanksgiving, in the knowingness that this word is acted upon by the divine law, I release it into that law, knowing that it is already activated. It is already made known, whatever that need is, and answered right at the presence of the need. And so we allow that to be in truth and knowingness. And we rest this word with our love. Join me, won't you, in declaring this as true. And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, ministers and practitioners. Thank you, Carmen. And now is our time of giving, which is yes, you can do woohoo. Who did that? Woohoo! Giving is a good thing. Whatever we can give is a good thing. And we're going to try something new today. That's why Robert's bringing that basket up. But first, what we want you to do is to prepare your gift, and including if you have an auto tithe, there's this card that you can put. We have an affirmation that we say together, and whatever your offering is, we're going to put it over our hearts. We're going to say our affirmation first. And whoever would like to bring up their offering, if it's not an auto tithe, we're going to give you the opportunity so that you don't forget on your way out. That's why we have this basket. We're going to be trying different ways to make it work for you, to make it work for all of us. Together, let us say our affirmation. Joyously, I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. And now is an opportunity, should you want to, and listen, even if you can get up and come, even if you don't have anything to put in the basket, the movement and consciousness is about the law of circulation. You can come forward even as I'm talking. You can come forward and just touch the basket. You can come forward in an act of movement of the law of appreciation and circulation, the law of giving and receiving. I invite you forward in this movement of appreciation of God's goodness and the knowingness and trust and faith that it is coming. It is coming. That's what we believe. That's what faith is. We put it forth. It is coming. See, this is a need being fulfilled. I love the fact that you're coming forward. So we're going to experiment and try with this some more so that you don't walk out with your offering and forget like I've forgotten before. And we just know and bless, even if you didn't come up here, that movement in consciousness is what is loosening up any old beliefs and old thinking so that we can be made anew for sure. Oh, giving thanks for that. Thank you all. And I just want to say a word about our pledge campaign. It's still going on all through 2023, but we were doing it toward the end of the year. And guess what? We're at $195,000. Say yay for that. Yay. Thank you for your generosity. And your pledges and your giving helps us to plan how to run in this beautiful organization known as Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. So we need more of your pledges. And just as a reminder, for those of you who had auto tithes from last year, we still need you to submit a pledge card if you are wanting it to continue. We don't know that. You may want to change it. You may need to lower it, but you may need to increase it because God is just that good in your life. So we'd like for you to do that. Just a couple more things. Please be patient with us this morning. I'm going to ask for a couple of volunteers. I see Maggie right there who has already volunteered to help us take down the decorations this week. If there's several more volunteers, you can sign a list that's on the table outside. We need a couple of several volunteers to, no, thank you though. Oh, okay. Maggie's going to start today. You can join her afterwards, but actually you can put your name on a list and perhaps we can have that coordinated as well. We're running a little behind, Maggie. That's why I didn't open up the mic. Okay. We have our nonprofit for this month, the Jewish Family and Community Services, a representative, Amy Dobson, who is the volunteer manager, here to just take a couple of moments to tell you about their organization. Let's welcome Amy Dobson.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Amy Dodson, and I am with JFCS East Bay. We are a full services social service agency. We have 4 programmatic divisions that take care of people. We have a parenting and youth, all the way to older adult services. We have an immigration legal services division, but I'm going to just spend a couple minutes talking about our biggest department, which is our refugee services division. We have been resettling refugees in the East Bay for 145 years. We've been around a very, very long time in several different iterations, but now we're Jewish Family and Community Services of the East Bay. And even though we are a Jewish organization guided by our Jewish values, the vast majority of the clients that we serve are not Jewish. We have only one program that is restricted to Jewish people, and that's our Holocaust Survivor Program. But everything else, all of our other clients, the real majority of our clients are actually Muslims. We have been helping people resettle from Afghanistan. We've been specializing in Afghanistan since 2008. So when the Taliban took over Kabul in August of 2021, triggering a massive humanitarian crisis, we were very well poised to spring into action and help. We went from resettling around 120, 130 Afghans a year to, in 2022, we resettled 1,000 individuals. Thank you. And we're not done. The Afghan crisis is winding down, but there still are, we're still expecting around 200 to 300 more Afghan individuals between now and the end of the fiscal year, which is June. And so just as the Afghan crisis was finally starting to calm down a little bit, and we were slowly coming out of crisis mode, Russia invaded Ukraine. And so since February, we have been expanding our services to take care of as many Ukrainians as we possibly can. It's been, I won't lie, it's been a little chaotic. There are Ukrainians arriving in the United States. The latest number I just heard from the Office of Refugee Resettlement in California was that we are expecting 20,000 Ukrainians in California. They won't all come to the Bay Area, of course, that's all of California, but we are expecting hundreds more to arrive. It's impossible to know exactly how many. We have served so far over 250 Ukrainian individuals. And we are expecting many, many more over the coming months. So we, as a resettlement agency, we provide our clients with an array of services, everything I say from toothbrushes to toasters. So we provide them in-kind goods. We're also responsible for finding them housing, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, is a big challenge in the Bay Area. Enrollment in social services, getting them into Medi-Cal, enrolling their children in school, just making sure that they have everything that they need to thrive and flourish in their new homes. But we rely heavily on volunteer support and in-kind donation support. Monetary donations are always appreciated, but I also need things like you'll see on the collection bucket out there. I need cleaning supplies, toothbrushes. Most of the people from Ukraine are arriving with basically the clothes on their back and very little else. So there's the needs are great. There's a list out there, and I hear you've put it on your website, and that's wonderful. We appreciate that very much. I also have these flyers that will be out on the table in the social hall with them. I'm just going to hold them up for the people on Zoom. On the back here, there are QR codes. And if you scan the QR code that says our wish list, it'll take you directly to a page where you can just click, 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 and then those donations get sent directly to our office in Concord. So if you'd like to contribute, but it's inconvenient for you to drop off things here, this is a really nice and easy way to have things sent directly to us. And I update this list at least daily, so whatever you see on the list is what we need right now. And so sometimes that's pots and pans, sometimes it's a car seat. It fluctuates based on the needs of our clients, so we pride ourselves on being very responsive and being very client-centric. We take our cues from what our clients need. So thank you again for having me. I will be over there to answer more questions. If you'd like information on how to volunteer, how to get involved, I'd be happy to tell you more about all of the various programs we run and our current volunteer opportunities. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about refugee resettlement in the United States in general, or with the work of JFCS, I would be absolutely delighted to take some questions. Thank you for having me.
talking about my God. God is my friend. God made the world for us to live in and gave us everything. No, God has covered as we give each other love. Oh, don't go talking about my God. 'Cause God is my friend. God loves us whether or not we know it, and gives us everything. And all God has covered as we give each other love. Oh, love your mother, love your father, love your sister, love your brother. Oh, don't go talking about my God. God is my friend. God loves us whether or not we know it, and gives us everything. And all God has covered is we give each other love. And all God has covered is we give each other love. Oh. Love your mother, love your father, love your brother, love your sister, love everybody. Oh, God has covered as we give each other love. Oh, oh, don't go talking about my God. 'Cause God is my friend. God made this world for us to live in, and gives us everything. And all God has given is we give each other love. All God has given is we give each other love.
Wow, we've come to the completion of a most amazing service today. It's always fabulous with Luke Mont and Kev Choice. Yes, yes, yes. You always touch my heart very deeply with your music and your sound. I just very, very blessed when you show up. Also, thank you, Reverend Sunshine Michelle, as you continue to hold the space of our community as we move into the phase of new beginnings for our incredible community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. And yes, the bartender minister, I just love this story. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Reverend Lisa Hamilton, for coming today. And great perspective on the work that we do in the world, in the bigger community. Thank you. Thank you, Carmen West Jefferson, for beginning this service with your beautiful meditation and laying the foundation for us to proceed today. Thank you. Thank you for the IT team. Yes, I especially liked the slides in the beginning. Those beautiful water and winter scenes were just so incredible, so creative, set such a beautiful tone. Robert Leeds, thank you for being our announcer. And also Amy Dodson, incredible work the community is doing. Would never have known that the immigrants in Oakland are being supported to the extent that they are, and thank you for letting us know what's really going on here. A way I can just relax in knowing that the immigrants are being taken care of by your organization. So many people to thank, because it does take a village to do this production and to create this incredible service that we do. The IT team are just incredible. And those that join us live streaming, my husband's at home, he's blind, he's live streaming. I set it up for him, and it is just so wonderful that he can do this. And I appreciate the live streaming. It comes in, it's so easy, it's on YouTube, and it's like, wow, this is easy here. So thank you for the webpage. So I also want to say that we do love to pray, and the practitioners will be at the back in that little space, that little sanctuary we created back there to pray for you folks. You can also write your prayer on a slip of paper, prayer box, pop it in. You know, you folks are prayed for all the time. Just put your prayers in. You can also connect with prayers on the website. You can ask for prayers through the website. You have the paper back there. Practitioners do pray individually. So in the community hall, their cards are on the board. You can take one of these cards home, call them up, set up a prayer session. They are mostly a fee-based, but there also may be an arrangement where you can get a short prayer for simply requesting a short prayer. And there's a service that we do for people that want that as well. So there are many ways of getting prayer, and prayer works. Trust me, it works. I get these prayers out to my family in Pennsylvania, and it works. So we want to serve you with our prayers. Okay. At the end of the service, make sure you exit. Don't hang out here in the sanctuary. Just go out into the outside where it's safer, a little COVID safer. The community, is the community center open today? Okay, we're going to do a little coffee thing there maybe. That's a way to connect with people. But this area here, please exit unless you're going back there for a prayer. Okay, so, all right, Maggie, thank you. So anyhow, great ending, great service. Thank you. And now, if you want to stand for your affirmation. It's a little short one today and very powerful. Just embody this one because it's very, very powerful. As God is, I am, we are. Yes. Thank you.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surrounds us.
Hold it.